Welcome back to NeoEnglish, your daily podcast for learning real English with real news. Today, we're bringing you an interesting story from Hollywood.
Yes, today we'll talk about Keith Urban, Nicole Kidman, and Zac Efron. There was a bit of drama during an interview recently. Are you ready to learn some practical English?
Let's start by making the news simple. Keith Urban is a famous singer. He is married to Nicole Kidman, a popular actress. Nicole and another actor, Zac Efron, acted together in a movie called A Family Affair.
That's right. In this movie, Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron have steamy scenes. That means scenes that are a bit romantic, maybe even sexy. The word steamy can mean something hot, but in movies, it usually means romantic or with a lot of chemistry.
For example, you might say, "That was a steamy love scene in the film," or "Their conversation became steamy after dinner." Remember, steamy is usually used for romantic or sexy situations, not normal, friendly ones.
Now, during an interview on Zoom, which is a video call app, Keith Urban was asked about these steamy scenes that his wife Nicole did with Zac Efron. But Keith Urban didn't want to talk about it. He hung up, which means he ended the call suddenly.
Hung up is a useful phrase. It means to end a call, usually by surprise or quickly. For example, "She hung up when I asked about her job," or "He hung up after saying goodbye." It doesn't only work for phones, but also for video calls.
The news said that Keith Urban can't come to the phone right now. This is a polite way to say he's not available to talk, usually when someone doesn't want to answer a difficult question.
For example, "Sorry, she can't come to the phone right now," or "He can't come to the phone at the moment." Sounds polite, but sometimes it's just used as an excuse. It helps avoid an awkward situation.
So, to recap, Nicole Kidman acted with Zac Efron in romantic movie scenes. Some people thought it might be uncomfortable for her husband, Keith Urban, when a reporter asked Keith about it. He hung up the call instead of answering.
This is a great example of how to talk about uncomfortable situations. Uncomfortable means it makes you feel awkward or uneasy. For example, "That question was uncomfortable," or "I felt uncomfortable in that interview."
And from this story, we've learned some new words and phrases. Steamy scenes, hung up, can't come to the phone right now, and uncomfortable.
Let's practice how you can use these in real life. If you see two people in a movie being very romantic, you can say, "They had a steamy scene together." If someone ends a call suddenly, you can say, "He hung up."
Or if you need to answer the phone for someone but they're busy, say, "She can't come to the phone right now." And if you don't like a question, you can say, "That's an uncomfortable question."
All right, let's tell the story again in a simple way, using today's vocabulary. Nicole Kidman acted in romantic, steamy scenes with Zac Efron. That made reporters ask her husband, Keith Urban, questions. Keith felt uncomfortable and hung up the video call. The reporter said he can't come to the phone right now, which really means he didn't want to talk about it.
If you want to remember this story, think Nicole and Zac, steamy scenes. Reporter asks Keith. He feels uncomfortable and hangs up. Reporter says he can't come to the phone right now.
Great job today. Remember, the more you practice, the faster your English will improve. If you want to keep up with daily news, make sure to subscribe to NeoEnglish. See you next time.
See you tomorrow with more English and more news. Bye.